Hey again, this is Oliver, your Bay Area Realtor, and for today's video, I'll be going over the Sunnyvale, California's real estate market for the beginning of October. We'll be going over Sunnyvale's important housing data to see where their market is trending. Before we begin, if you guys enjoy me making these kinds of videos, please like the video. It helps my content reach out to others who may need this information, and feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all things real estate in Sunnyvale and also in the Bay Area. With that out of the way, let's cue up the intro. Okay, so for today's video, we'll be looking at 6 key housing data points for Sunnyvale, which include active listings versus new listings, number of pending and contingent listings, median sales price, average days on the market, sales to original list price, and lastly, number of sales. Then I'll go over what this all means if you're considering buying or selling in Sunnyvale. So let's begin. Hi guys, so now we're at my computer screen, and right here I have pulled up real-time data from the MLS listings, which is my MLS listing service that I subscribe to. We can look at this chart right here, which compares the active number of listings for Sunnyvale versus the number of new listings that were entered for Sunnyvale for each month, starting from November 2021, you can see right here, to October 2022. Active number of listings is shown in blue and new listings is shown in yellow. Just a reminder of what each one means. Active number of listings is essentially listings that have remained active up until the end of the month. New listings is basically the total number of new homes that were added to the market up until the end of the month. For September, active listings was at 53. In August, it was at 58. So this computes to about an 8% drop in active listings from the previous month. For new listings for September is now at 48. It was 49 before, so it's just a drop of 1. But if you look at year to date, in November, starting up until March, it was trending up. In March, it was at 95, which was at its peak for number of new listings. And then for active listings, same thing. So for year to date, you see for active listings and also new listings, trend was going up and now it's going down, which means that there are less homes in the market right now. So in my opinion, this downward trend in both active listings and new listings could be part due to many reasons. A reason why active listings could be low for Sunnyvale is because Sunnyvale is a sought after location to buy a home, even in this real estate market where buying demand is low. If you have a home that is really nice and has a lot of remodeling work that has been done, it has a good chance of selling, especially in Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale is a really high demand suburban city and it has a lot of low turnover. The city is home to a variety of companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, LinkedIn, so it's a huge tech hub. The city is amazing because of the location as well. It's located between the peninsula and the South Bay, San Jose area. So the city is perfect for commuters. There are highways connecting the city to the Bay Area, which include 101, 237, 280, and also Central Expressway. You can pretty much get anywhere around the Bay easily. Also, crime rates are pretty low compared to the rest of California. Many of these factors can play a part in why Sunnyvale is such a high demand city and why active listings is low for Sunnyvale. A reason why new listings are declining is that homeowners are worried about the general standing of the economy, and they want to continue living in their homes with their low interest rates that they refinance to and possibly wait until things get back to normal. We saw in the past year, people were refinancing their mortgages down to 2% or 2.5%. So they're saving a lot of money monthly, and they don't see a reason why they need to move out yet, especially with this downturn in the real estate market. You know, that probably explains why a lot of sellers are postponing their plans to sell their home as of now. So switching gears to number of contingent and pending listings. What a pending contingent home means is that the owner has accepted an offer and is going through the escrow and contingency process. So the numbers represent how many homes were contingent or pending for the end of the month. We can see in August, contingent pending listings was at 40, and in September it's now at 41, so it increased by just 1. Looking year to date, we see that for single family homes, March was at its highest when buyer demand peaked. 79 listings had accepted offers and came off the market. But this is also the time when the Federal Reserve started hiking interest rates to 75 basis points and had that hawkish outlook that they were going to increase rates until inflation was at 2%. This possibly impacted the real estate market, especially in Sunnyvale. As you can see, it started declining. And in June, when the Federal Reserve had their next meeting with their hawkish outlook again, started decreasing more until in August, September, it started kind of staying in this 40 range. And now you can see buying demand has cooled down, especially with mortgage rates also increasing as well. Moving on to median sales price. This is the middle price of homes with half price for less and half price for more. We use this data point more than average sales price because it is resistant to outliers. So for here, you can see median sales price in Sunnyvale has taken a turn for the worst. The median sales price in Sunnyvale right now from September is $2 million. This is a 25% drop from its all-time high set in April when it was at $2.64 million. So this is a very considerable correction. If you didn't watch my most recent federal rate hike video, we saw that rates briefly hit almost 7% for a 30-year fixed mortgage before going down. Now it's around, if we look here, 6.651% for a 30-year conforming loan. If we look at the average rate in the United States for a fixed rate mortgage, it hasn't been that high since 2002, as you can see right here, so 20 years ago. Mortgage applications have also been declining, and it's hitting a rock. You can see right here on tradingeconomics.com, mortgage market index. The mortgage market index in the United States decreased to 218.7 points in the last week of September, the lowest since 1997. So with all these things at play, buying demand is dwindling and home prices are depreciating. We can look at days on market now. So days on market is essentially the average days it takes for a home to sell in Sunnyvale for the month. We look at September, this is 22 days on average, and it's slightly lower than in August, which was at 23. For September at 22, this is still 14 days longer to sell than the lowest of the year in February. At the lowest year in the February, it was at 8 days. It took essentially a week for a home to sell in February, and now it takes more than 3 weeks to sell a home. You can see the trend going up, and in my opinion, I see days on market continue to increase, especially with increasing mortgage rates and low buying demand. A lot of potential buyers are now possibly hanging up their gloves for now until they see buying a home to be a part of their equation. Looking at number of sales, this one's pretty self-explanatory. This is just the number of sales that was recorded for the end of the month. In Santa Clara County, we saw sales shoot up 22.7% in August, showing a recovery in demand for housing. However, for Sunnyvale, single-family homes in July were at 44 and dropped to 39 in August. And now it's back up to 43 in September. So the biggest crash you see here was between June, when in June it was at 68, in July it was at 44. This equates to a 35% drop in sales, but overall sales have been trending down because of buying demand diminishing. If we look at the past 3 years though, in Sunnyvale, you can see the general seasonality of real estate. During the winter months, December to January, you see sales drop big time. That's because buyers and sellers are in vacation and they want to celebrate the holidays with their friends and family. They don't really have time to buy and sell real estate during this time. So you can see how it drops during the winter months and then picks up back up during the spring months and then drops back again during the winter months. Last but not least, sales to original price ratio. This ratio represents the final sales price divided by the original list price expressed as a percentage. If the percentage is above 100%, that means the home sold for more than the list price. If it is less than 100%, the home sold for less than the list price. So looking at these ratios can help buyers and sellers like yourselves get a better understanding of pricing strategy and how much you can buy and sell a home for in Sunnyvale. So looking at this can help us figure out the average home in Sunnyvale sold for over or under the original list price. In September, right now it's at 101.3%. So this is the list price plus 1.3%. And in August, it was at 96.7%. This is less than the list price by 4.3%. Year to date, you can see how it peaked in February at 123%. So this means that if you sold a home in February at the housing peak in Sunnyvale, you sold a home for example, $1 million. During that time, you would have probably made $230,000 additional to the list price, given that the house was marketed and priced strategically by your agent. Then after February, you see prices start to slowly come down up until May, and then it took a big dive from 118% to 110% in June, to another big drop in July to 101.2%. In August, it was at 96.7%, so this means it was sold for less than the list price on average, and then it picked back up in September to 101.3%. So my theory is that during the summer months, right here in May, June, July, agents and sellers were working together to determine pricing, and they were looking at historical comparables, because that's how us realtors, we determine the value of the homes. But the thing is, for the past 3 to 4 months, the housing market was hotter. It wasn't shifting as much as now, and that is the problem, because the problem was it was a historical snapshot of what prices were back then when the market was hotter for sellers. And so when you do that, you don't take into account buying demand, which was dwindling. So this required a lot of sellers who started listing their homes to do price reductions, because there's not a lot of buyers coming in. They noticed that mortgage demand is decreasing and their home is staying longer on the market. And it wasn't until September probably that agents started setting those right expectations to sellers and bring them back into reality, saying, hey, your home is unfortunately not worth what it was in February. So here's the right market value, and let's start pricing it strategically from there. In conclusion, inventory in Sunnyvale has been increasing for the past few months, but now it's starting to slowly decline. Potential reasons that I've mentioned in this video were that could be because Sunnyvale is a very sought after location. Even in this economy, it is of high demand and is very sought after, especially if you have a home that you're trying to sell that is recently remodeled and it looks really nice, then it's a really easy sell in Sunnyvale. For buying demand is still at a low. We see that contingent and pending listings have been declining. It was at its highest in March at 79. Now it is at 41. Median sales price in Sunnyvale has taken a huge dip. The median sales price right now in Sunnyvale is $2 million. This is a 22% drop from its all-time high. So if you're a buyer considering buying right now, it's a good time, because real estate in Sunnyvale is at a discounted price. Right now, it takes generally longer to sell a home. Number of sales has also continued to decline. Right now, it's at total sales at 43, and in the highest, it was at 68. So it's about a 35% drop in sales. So I hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, please like the video. It helps my content reach out to others. And if you want, feel free to subscribe to stay updated with all things real estate in Sunnyvale and also in the Bay Area. I hope to see you guys in the next video.